Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. Think I finally learned to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. And I've survived many times before. Broken heart and slamming doors. I'll be alright, yes I will, once more. Just as I did back then, I'm gonna rise again. So bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. So bring it on. Everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I know it's gonna be everything new.
It is amazing to me. Good morning. Welcome, Unity Spokane. It is amazing to me. I had a talk in the lobby with Gay and Gary in the lobby about talking about that very thing, and here it is sung. I didn't even know that. So synchronicity at its best. Good morning. Welcome. I'm Jeff Tawney. I'll be your platform assistant this morning. And I have to tell you, this new mask thing kind of had me in a stir. I mean, no mask thing had me in a stir because I've gotten really lazy about shaving because you don't have to really look in a mirror to shave. And now I realize I need to go back to the mirror because I can see some spots that I'm missing. So anyways, first world problems for us men. I know you ladies have your own problems. We have our problems. As always, we want to begin our time together with our opening affirmation. I will say it once, and I will ask you to join me. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good. Together, There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the Good. This is Unity's foundation principle. One presence, one power, one life, living through and as each one of us. This morning we'll be hearing from our transformational speaker, Heather Grover, and her message is titled, Table for Two, Living a Spiritually Grounded Life with Anxiety. And if you've ever been up here, you know what that means. Heather will also be leading us in our meditation this morning. And now it's time for news you can use with our own Amber McKenzie.
Thank you, Jeff. Okay, well, first of all, you may notice Gay and Dave are here today. Yay. And they are going to be taking some photos and videos for our Facebook and YouTube, etc. So if you are okay with that, please know that that's what they're doing. And if you're not okay with being on any kind of, ideally you're not going to probably see your face up close at all. And most of you are wearing masks. So, but if you're uncomfortable with that, please let them know. And they're very open to that conversation. Okay, first we have, starting Wednesday, June 2nd, Reverend David McClure is going to begin a series of summer book studies. The first one is a 6-week series based on the book, Think Again, The Power of Knowing What You Don't Know by Adam Grant. This book states that intelligence is usually seen as the ability to think and learn, but in a rapidly changing world, there's another set of skills that we all need to sharpen. That is the ability to rethink and unlearn. I'm doing a lot of that. And I really love this, the idea of this book. I have not read it, but it looks fabulous. It also goes on to say that most of us like to stay in the comfort of our own current convictions rather than venture out into the unknown world of doubt. But it may be in the not knowing or the yet to know that our true happiness lies. So join Reverend David on Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on Zoom. If you are interested in joining, please email Reverend David. His email address is there on the screen. You will also find this information in the e-newsletter on Wednesdays. So do sign up for that if you are interested. Okay, youth and family update. As you may know, we are open to having our youth ministry back. They're in the back right now as we speak, so we're very excited to have our kids ages 4 to high school back here. So if you're at home and you are interested in joining us and you have kids, please know that they are welcome here, and everyone is masked in the back, etc. So, yay, woohoo, very exciting. Okay, and then next we have, we're just kind of combining our Sundays. So spiritual journeys. Next week, our 9 a.m. spiritual journeys meditation will feature journeying with mindfulness with Darlene Walsh Martin. She is an expert in this area, and so she will be leading that mindfulness journey. Darlene says that mindful, focused attention offers an opportunity to explore and appreciate the present moment with more curiosity and self-compassion and less self-judgment. So that will be next Sunday at 9 a.m. And then at 10 a.m. we have me as the person who will be speaking. Actually, we had another person that was supposed to speak, but that person didn't have it on their calendar, and so I asked 3 other people. Nobody could do it because it turns out it's Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, oops. So it's going to be me. And I will be speaking on a really funny experience that happened recently with my daughter and something that is a great spiritual teacher in my life, which is projection. And so I will talk about the holy shift that occurred as a result of that, and it's actually still, it never just ends, right? It's still happening in my mind. So I'm excited to talk to you about that. And then the following Sunday, June 6th, our spiritual journey will be a Power of 8 meditation with Al Konigsfeld. And if you've never done a Power of 8 circle, I highly suggest you take advantage of this powerful process with Al. He's done it a lot, and he knows exactly how to do this powerful meditation. So please do join us at 9 a.m. on June 6th for that. And on that Sunday, our transformational speaker is Karen Dunmore. She is a licensed Unity teacher as well. And then we will update you on her message title. And also please look for that in the Wednesday e-newsletter. Okay, one final thing. We have a COVID survey. You may have seen it as you came in. There's just a little piece of paper, it's anonymous. If you don't mind, please filling that out. Most of you probably did as you came in. And then we also have one online through our email. It was sent out, I think, just this last Tuesday. And it is a SurveyMonkey. So if you could please fill those out, that'd be great. We've already had a great response. And based on that information, the board will look at our options. Okay, so thank you. And now what are we doing? Oh, I know. Sally Sledge is going to come up and talk about coffee in the prayer garden. Take it away.
Thank you. And good morning to everybody. I'm seeing some new faces here, which I love. I used to be a welcome person every Sunday, and of course, COVID got in the way of that. So I want to say a special hello to familiar as well as some of the new faces. It's so good to see you. Last week, I announced that we were doing our first ever, not first ever, since the pandemic, our Get Back Together Coffee Klatch after Sunday services. I was amazed at how many people showed up. It was great. We went out into the prayer garden. We did some distancing. Many people retained their masks in between sips of coffee, but it was a good start to rebuilding our community here. Today, we're going to do the same thing after service, and I'm speaking to all of you in front of me as well as all of you in TV land, and to let you know that our very own Jeff Hunter came in early to make coffee for y'all. And I don't know, but he might be taking names to see who comes, at least to say hello. I don't know. I mean, he could. And so those of you in TV land, I know you're in your jammies, but there's time. Hope to see you. Thanks.
It's the cry of a baby, the whisper in prayer, it's voices and laughter. It's the wind in the stillness and the spaces between. It's a spark of fire. No end, no beginning. Ooh.
opportunity for a dance party there. There's always next time. Good morning. Am I I'm messing up my mic.
This should be turned on. Oh, yeah, just turn it off, it turns green.
Oh yeah, the on button helps.
How's that? Okay. Perfect. I don't want to have to use my mean coach voice on you. Oh, good morning. As my Grammy would say, "Mange tusen takk," it means many thousand thanks in Norwegian. And speaking here at Unity always feels like such a welcoming experience. I say always, this is my second time, but it feels so welcoming. And that feeling of warm invitation is exactly what I needed to override my hesitation about presenting myself to the world right now. Lately I feel kind of like a grumpy grizzly bear coming out of hibernation. All the lights are a little bit too bright. The sounds are a few decibels too loud. And for some reason, I'm so hungry all the time, literally. So I'm clumsy. I have all these tender pressure points. And I just really feel like instead of spending the winter in a cozy den hibernating away, I entered this cave where I spent a few months meeting all of my demons for nonstop hand-to-hand combat. And for me, some of those demons have names and diagnoses like anxiety, panic disorder, and depression. And they drive me to questions like, how can I tell the difference between my intuition and my anxiety? What does faith mean when I can't stop the fear? And what if I never get better? What if it always feels this way? I'm not here to speak with any authority on what it means to live with these diagnoses or the symptoms of anxiety, which we have all experienced in our own ways this past year. I am here to offer a window into what it means to me right now to live a spiritually grounded life while also living with anxiety. And my prayer is that you will accept the invitation to look for just one thing in what I share today that will help you breathe easier, that will help you exhale. So when I spoke here in February, I introduced this method I use for mapping my internal experience and spiritual process. And this imagery feels like a key. It's what unlocks my access to clarity where I used to find only chaos and confusion. So inside this circle is what I like to call home. And it's where my true self is accessed, present in this moment. It's where I feel calm, clear, curious, compassionate, creative, and connected to my source, to God. It's where I feel so deeply empowered. Outside of that circle is the wilderness. And this is where I can identify my thinking being in the business of the future, the business of the past, the business of other people, spend a lot of time there, and the business of God, source, those things that are so outside of my or anyone's control. And being out in that wilderness feels deeply disempowering. So this is my way of mapping my internal landscape and my experience of myself in relationship to the world. And I'm not interested in really defining home is good and the wilderness is bad. Home is right and the wilderness is wrong. It just is. This is the human experience. And what differentiates these spaces is empowered versus disempowered. And that's where I focus my work. Because I know that when I can bring my human mind back to an understanding of being firmly rooted in my soul, connected to source, to God, that is where I find true peace and power. And what I've learned is that it's not so much about what I do, the details of what I do, it's about where I stand when I do it. And so learning to ask, where am I standing? Whose business am I in right now? And doing the work of coming home to myself before I choose has changed everything because it's shown me that I can trust myself and the source, God, within me. So this is all very lovely, and my anxiety could care less about this. Doesn't care. In fact, my anxiety is so dang creative that it's found ways to use this concept against me. So, at the risk of you all writing me off as cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs today, I'm just going to give you a little sample of the type of dialogue that can happen in my mind. So I'm going through my day, going about my business, and anxiety. Excuse me, I have a gut feeling that something is very, very wrong. And I respond, oh, okay, let's check it out. What's the evidence? Anxiety. The evidence is that I know. You're always talking about this inner knowing. Well, that's what this is, definitely. This is the inner knowing. Something's wrong. And I think, maybe. Let's check this out. Where am I standing? Whose business am I in? Do I feel calm in my body? Do I feel... And anxiety interrupts and says, excuse me, you are standing in your business right now, and you know it's all wrong. You cannot Jedi mind trick your way out of this. We are afraid, and we should be. And on we go, round and round we go, until everybody is just exhausted. For so long, the best I could do was become a very good pretender. I would pretend at being fearless. I would pretend at being motivated. I would pretend at being able to find any kind of solid ground, when the truth was that I was constantly clawing my way out of quicksand. And then, when I could not possibly pretend anymore, I would hide. And I would stay in that shame cave until I had gathered enough resources to pretend again. If you relate to this in any way, or if you love someone who relates to this in any way, let's just pause and breathe together for a minute. Blessed are the weary, for they will find rest. Blessed are the weary, for they will find rest. Where I find rest right now is accepting that anxiety is a part of me. And there's a part of me that may always be determined to run laps around the wilderness without my consent. And there's a part of me that always is home, that never leaves home. There's a part of me, my true self, who is always anchored to and integrated with Source, with God. And nothing I can do and nothing my anxiety can offer me actually ever takes me away from that space. It's always there. Faith for me is actively and relentlessly reminding myself of this truth. The magic of this understanding is that it changes all of the questions I ask myself. So instead of, what is wrong with me? I can ask, why does it feel so hard to access true self right now? Instead of, why can't I just snap out of it? I can ask, what can I offer myself to make the journey home a little easier? And when I'm invited to engage with life, instead of asking, how can I hide this part of me so that no one sees it? I can take a big, bracing, brave, and compassionate breath and say, I'd love to partake. Do you have a table for two? And let me not mislead you. This does not provide a solution that wraps it all up into a nice, tidy package and makes it easy. My anxiety does not have great table manners, and much of the time I end up exclaiming, I can't take you anywhere. That sounded like knowing laughter. But the opposite of hope is not pain, it's despair. And despair becomes dangerous when we believe that we are alone in our experience of it. I wonder if there is anything more lonely than not only being denied communion and connection through relationship, but also denying parts of ourselves, the parts that carry the pain. If we can begin by asking different questions, if we can begin by turning towards ourselves, all parts of ourselves, with curiosity and compassion, we have already accessed true self. We've already shown ourselves home. We've already touched God. Think about the last time that you felt trapped in anxiety, worry, or fear. Maybe that's where you find yourself right now. And consider the question, why does it feel hard to access true self right now? To be present here, now, entirely in my body? How would you answer yourself? Sometimes it's as simple as starting with a very real physical need that is not being met by your circumstances or choices. I can't count the number of times that asking this question has revealed to me that I'm thirsty and I need to have some water, first of all. But more often, I notice that asking this question brings up resistance in me because the answers are not simple, or there are other answers as well that are not simple. They are prickly and complex. They are hard and they hurt. I think of what Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes says about strength. To be strong does not mean to sprout muscles and flex. It means meeting one's own numinosity without fleeing. It means being able to learn, being able to stand what we know. And this is why the next question is essential. What can I offer myself to make the journey home a little easier? Realistically, sometimes it's a matter of what can I offer myself to make the journey home possible at all? I did not come to the place where I can talk to you here about anxiety with anything resembling a spiritually grounded life by myself without support or resources. And I don't return to the place where I can look on my experience with anxiety, with panic, with depression, with curiosity and compassion without a lot of help. What in your life brings you home to yourself? Connects you to home, connects you to your source, to God. What do you imagine it would look like to create ritual, is the word, ritual around one of those things? And maybe being here is a part of that for you. Rituals are the practices that I offer myself as a gift and acknowledgement that I'm going to need them the most when I also feel the most resistant to them. When I am trapped in the midst of that feeling of anxiety, panic, depression, despair, everything that may come with that, I don't feel capable of offering those things to myself in that moment. So the ritual has to be there first. When I'm standing in true self, I can establish those as an offering to that self who's going to need it when she can't provide it for herself. So for me, that looks like therapy, yeah. And also small, vital things like resting with my animals, walking every week with a person I trust, always being a student of something, taking a shower. And it is important to me that I don't bypass acknowledging that the resources of time, money, and access to support are not equally available to all people. So for a long time before I understood this thing of ritual, and during times when I did not have access to other forms of support, I relied on just one thing: breath. My son and I call it best friend breath. Say it 10 times fast. Because it is always available to you. It's always with you as long as you live. And if you want its help, all it requires of you is your attention. So in a moment, I'll invite you to practice that breath with me. But first, I want to offer myself and all of us a reminder from a song I love by an artist named Trevor Hall. You can't rush your healing. Darkness has its teaching. Love is never leaving. You can't rush your healing. Keep coming to the table. You, all parts of you, are welcome. Let's breathe together. Sitting comfortably wherever you are. Place your feet on the ground. You're welcome to close your eyes or keep them open, whatever makes you the most comfortable. Without trying to change anything, just notice your breath first. Greet that breath and acknowledge it. Best friend breath, always there. Take notice of how your feet feel on the ground. Drawing your attention from your toes through your feet to your ankles, moving up through your body, noticing how your body feels in this moment. On your next inhale, allow that breath to move all the way down to your belly, all the way out to the edges of your ribs, into your back. And exhale all the way. Let all that air out. Maybe take one more second on your next inhale. Breathe just a little bit deeper, a little bit longer. And exhale all the way. Take all the time you need. Notice your shoulders getting heavier, elbows, wrists relax, fingertips soft. Allow your jaw to release, your neck softens. All the little muscles of your face relax just a little bit more. Breathing deep, exploring the full inhale. How does it feel to fill your lungs all the way? And empty all the way. Honoring that being present in our bodies sometimes brings to attention things that do not feel good, and sometimes it feels very hard, and sometimes getting quiet feels like it makes space for parts of us that we don't want to hear. How would it feel to turn towards those parts of yourself with curiosity and compassion right now? Let them be welcome. as you continue to breathe here, I'd like to share some words of blessing with you. Take whatever is meant for you today. If your eyes open tomorrow and you say, "No, thank you, that's enough," and you rest your feet against the floor until they are prepared to carry you to your door. And if you open that door to invite in the liquid light and breathe in whatever air that day is offering, revealing your clumsy, unprepared body to everything out there. And if your feet then carry you across the hard surface of the world until they find the sharp and sticky tenderness of the wilderness, if you find a little gentle place there, the one you saw behind your eyelids once, perhaps a mossy bank where the mud still holds impressions of other wild feet. And if you decide to sink at last into that sweet space, never to rise, never to earn, never to prove again, only to rest your bones against the earth herself until they join again in blessed union. If today is the last day that you show us what you're worth, even then and always, you are perfect. Let's take another breath together. When you feel ready, gently blink your eyes open. Come back into the room, into this space, into this beautiful community. I'm so grateful for you.
Sorry about the delay there. Thank you, Heather. I especially love the imagery of of looking at my anxiety as a uninvited guest. So Tawny, table for one from now on. Appreciate that. It was good. Unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, love in the presence of hatred, forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, for we know that there is only one power, one presence, and one life. So whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey of transformation, you are welcomed here. If you're new to our ministry and are interested in learning more about upcoming transformational speakers, workshops, events, please sign up for our email newsletter by texting Unity Spokane to 22828. Or sign up on our website at unityspokane.org. We would also like to connect you with our other means of communication: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. So just search for Unity Spokane's Unity Spiritual Center of Spokane. Now we'd like to take a moment to acknowledge and bless one another with a socially distanced namaste. So wherever you are in the sanctuary or at home in YouTube land, please feel free to stand as you're able and send your conscious loving energy to one another. Thank you. Now is the time to celebrate our abundance together as we share our gifts and love offerings. For those of you feeling the divine call to financially support our ministry, you can drop, if you're here today, you can drop your offering in the box at the back of the sanctuary. Another option is to text GIVE to the following number, 253-528-7416. Or you can visit the website, unityspokane.org, and click on the donate button. We would also like to take this time and thank all of our automatic givers, those of you that have just been faithful and continuously, just throughout thick and thin, just allow it to happen. We thank you. We never want to take those offerings for granted. So thank you so much. And those have been limited in your offering because of COVID, we thank you too, because we know that there's more than just a gift that comes out of your pocket. There's also the gift that comes out of your heart and out of your energy. So we thank you for that. With that in mind, we'd like to take this opportunity to sink into our hearts and bring forth a feeling of gratitude. And as we say, our love offering. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I give thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. Our chaplains today are Gary and Diane. They've been holding the service in prayer for us today. Chaplains, can you please stand? Awesome. Thank you so much. Our chaplains will also be available following the service if you have any special prayer needs or requests, or just want somebody to pray with you. If feeling they'll be available after the service, so you can certainly seek them out. They would love to do that. That's their gift. They'll be available at the front of the sanctuary following our peace song. We would also like to encourage anyone who is in need of prayer support to submit your requests through our online form. Simply go to unityspokane.org, click on the Contact Us button and on the main page, and you'll be taken to a prayer request form. Names will be added to our prayer list, our Unity Spokane prayer list, as well, and prayed for 30 days, as well as the Unity prayer ministry in Silent Unity. Okay, this is exciting. I added a page to our thing here today because we get to do something new. It's something old, but it's not necessarily old. But anyways, forget it, Jeff. Just go move on. Now is the time we've all been waiting for. Our children have arrived in the sanctuary. They're going to be coming in, right? Yep. They're going to be coming in, but instead of coming up here and standing up here in front of us, they're going to be going to their seats and standing amongst us. So, as we do our little moment to celebrate and do the children's blessing, just imagine that there's a abundance of children up here with our Unity teachers, and as we give our blessing. Oh, okay. All right.
I'm walking. I am walking in the light, in the light, in the light. I am walking in the light, in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God. I'm walking as the light. I am walking as the light, as the light, as the light. I am walking as the light, as the light of God. As the light, 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 as the light of God.
Okay, they are here. I can guarantee you that they're here. Here they come. There they are. Come on, don't be shy. Well, we are grateful for every child that is here and represents the families that are here, not only just physically here, but also on our campus, in their homes. I've always felt like every child represents, they're like the fruit from the tree, right? And the tree has all these like branches and roots, and they go out, and when you see a family, it's not just mom and dad, but it's the extended community. And we're all learning to do this again together, right? So anyway, so we want to take a moment to bless our children, bless the youth, and those in service also in our youth ministry. We want to take this moment as well. So together, we say, be the love you are, sing the song you hear, share your joy of life with people far and near. For ourselves, be the love we are, sing the song we hear, share our joy of life with people far and near. Thank you, guys. Let us now join together for our closing prayer of protection, followed by the peace song. Together we affirm, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well, and that's the truth. Thank you, everyone. Feel free to coffee in the prayer garden. Make your way out. We thank our visitors too.